Someone just spent $200 on a product they openly admit they've never used and still left a one-star review. Shopping online used to be simple. You buy normal stuff like books, clothes, maybe some electronics. But somewhere along the way, Amazon turned into the world's strangest marketplace where people review products that shouldn't even exist. Wolf urine sits next to luxury handbags. Coffin beds get 5-star ratings from customers who are very much alive. The banana slicer phenomenon proves just how bizarre things have gotten. This simple kitchen gadget has thousands more reviews than most smartphones. People write epic novels about their banana slicing experiences. Meanwhile, genuinely useful products sit in the shadows with 12 reviews and a prayer. Then there's uranium ore. Yes, actual uranium ore that you can buy online like it's a houseplant. The reviews are wild. Customers discuss Geiger counter readings in their backyards. Some mention using it for science projects. Others joke about their newfound superpowers, though safety warnings pepper the comment section like nervous confetti. But wait, it gets weirder. Books with titles like Everything Men Know About Women attract genuine reviewers who treat blank pages like profound literature. These gag gifts spark relationship debates in the review section that would make marriage counselors blush. People either find it hilarious or deeply offensive, with very little middle ground. The gift market drives much of this madness. Shoppers hunt for the most ridiculous presents possible, turning Amazon into their personal comedy store. Uncle Bob's birthday becomes an excuse to buy a yodeling pickle or a pet rock with a passport. These purchases aren't about utility, they're about getting the biggest laugh at family gatherings. What's fascinating is how seriously people take these joke products. A 3-Wolf Moon t-shirt gets analyzed like fine art. Customers discuss the spiritual awakening they experienced while wearing it. Others credit improved dating success to the wolf's mystical powers. The line between satire and sincerity becomes beautifully blurred. Seasonal weirdness adds another layer. Christmas brings reviews for inflatable lawn decorations that apparently achieve sentience. Halloween generates feedback on zombie garden gnomes that neighbors either love or call the homeowners association about. Valentine's Day sees romance-starved customers reviewing heart-shaped pizza cutters like relationship advice columns. The strangest part? Many of these products work exactly as advertised, which somehow makes the reviews even funnier. A banana slicer that actually slices bananas becomes comedy gold when someone complains it won't handle pineapples. Wolf urine that successfully attracts wolves gets criticized for being too effective by suburban customers. Pet products push the boundaries furthest. Dog costumes generate heated debates about animal dignity. Cat toilet training kits inspire philosophical discussions about feline independence. Hamster mazes get reviewed like architectural marvels or prison systems, depending on the reviewer's mood. These purchases reveal something deeper about modern shopping psychology. People crave experiences, not just products. A boring kitchen tool becomes an adventure when wrapped in absurd expectations and community commentary. The real question isn't why people buy weird stuff, it's what happens when they completely forget to actually test these products before writing their reviews. You know what's even stranger than buying wolf urine? Writing a detailed review about a product you never actually used. Welcome to the bizarre world of phantom reviews, where people somehow rate items they haven't even taken out of the box. 5 stars. Haven't opened it yet, but it looks great. This exact phrase shows up thousands of times across Amazon. How do you rate something 5 stars without using it? That's like reviewing a restaurant based on how nice their menu looks from the sidewalk. But people do this constantly, turning product reviews into some weird guessing game. Then there's the classic looks good in the box review. Someone ordered a blender, received it, stared at the unopened package for 30 seconds, and decided that was enough information to help future buyers. What's next? Rating cars based on how shiny the keys look? The shipping obsession gets wild too. People write entire paragraphs about cardboard boxes and bubble wrap while completely ignoring the actual product inside. Package arrived on time, box wasn't damaged, 5 stars. Wait, what about the thing you actually paid for? Did it work? Does it exist? Who knows? Gift buyers create their own special category of useless reviews. Bought this for my nephew, can't comment on quality appears everywhere. Why are you reviewing something you've never seen in action? It's like being a food critic who only smells the kitchen but never tastes the meal. Well, here's where it gets really entertaining. Some reviewers write novels about unboxing experiences. They describe every layer of packaging, the instruction manual's font size, and how the warranty card was folded. Everything except whether the product actually does what it's supposed to do. One person spent 3 paragraphs reviewing a coffee maker's cardboard insert but never mentioned if it makes good coffee. The still in packaging phenomenon reaches peak absurdity with expensive electronics. Someone bought a $800 drone, left it sealed for months, then wrote a review praising its sturdy box construction and professional appearance. That drone could be filled with rocks for all they know, but hey, 5 stars for nice packaging. And the weird part is, these non-reviews often get marked as helpful by other shoppers. Apparently knowing that a box arrived undamaged counts as valuable consumer insight. Makes sense, right? Let's not forget the first impressions reviewers who judge everything within minutes of delivery. They rate kitchen appliances before plugging them in, evaluate books by their covers, and assess furniture while it's still wrapped in plastic. Speed reviewing has become an art form of saying absolutely nothing useful. But the real mystery, these phantom reviews sometimes outnumber actual user experiences. Products end up with hundreds of ratings from people who basically reviewed the Amazon delivery process instead of the item itself. It's like having movie critics who only review movie theater seats. Speaking of unrealistic expectations, wait until you hear about the customers who expect their banana slicers to work on watermelons. Amazon reviews reveal a fascinating truth about human psychology. Give someone a platform to complain, and they'll find ways to blame products for defying the laws of physics. Take the customer who bought a waterproof Kindle case and left a furious 1-star review because it stopped working after they took it swimming in their pool. Apparently, waterproof in their mind meant designed for underwater reading sessions. The case was meant to protect against splashes, not turn your Kindle into submarine equipment. But wait, it gets better. Someone actually expected a banana slicer to work on apples, oranges, and cucumbers. They wrote a detailed complaint about how the perfectly banana-shaped slots couldn't accommodate round fruit. The physics of this complaint is mind-boggling. That's like buying a square peg and getting angry it doesn't fit in round holes. Then there's the meditation pyramid saga. One buyer genuinely believed a small copper pyramid would solve their relationship problems, cure their anxiety, and boost their career prospects all at once. When life remained complicated after 2 weeks of ownership, they demanded a refund and called the product false advertising. The pyramid was literally just a pyramid. No magical powers were ever promised, but somehow this person expected it to work like a life-changing genie lamp. The 5-pound gummy bear reviews deserve their own psychology textbook. Multiple customers complained that eating massive quantities of sugar didn't make them feel healthy or energetic. One person actually wrote, "I thought these would be better for me than regular candy because they're gummy bears." 5 pounds of anything isn't healthy, but logic apparently takes a backseat when faced with giant candy bags. Let's not forget the UFO detector reviews that reveal humanity's relationship with technology expectations. Several buyers were genuinely upset that their novelty UFO detector didn't actually detect real alien spacecraft. One person tested it by holding it near their microwave and complained it only beeped at household electronics. Another wanted their money back because no UFOs showed up during a camping trip. These devices are essentially fancy metal detectors with space-themed marketing, but some people expected genuine extraterrestrial communication equipment. The absurdity reaches peak levels with items like the famous How to Avoid Huge Ships book. Reviewers complained it didn't contain enough strategies for avoiding huge ships on land. The book is specifically about maritime navigation, but landlocked readers wanted tips for avoiding ships in their daily suburban lives. Makes sense, right? Well, expectations this wild don't happen in isolation. Amazon's review system encourages detailed feedback, but it also creates a space where disappointed customers can express frustration without considering basic product limitations. When reality doesn't match imagination, the product gets blamed instead of the expectation. The pattern reveals something deeper about consumer psychology and the gap between marketing perception and product reality. But unrealistic expectations are just the beginning of Amazon's review madness. Sometimes customers don't just expect too much from products, they have complete emotional breakdowns over the most innocent items, creating review drama that sounds more like survival horror stories than simple product feedback. Sometimes a bad purchase turns people into Shakespeare. Dramatic reviews reach levels of intensity usually reserved for life-changing events, not consumer goods. Take the legendary sugar-free gummy bear reviews. One buyer described eating a 5-pound bag as triggering Vietnam-level flashbacks. Another claimed the experience left them spiritually broken and questioning their life choices. These aren't just upset customers, they're crafting epic tales of digestive warfare that read like horror movie scripts. But wait, it gets weirder. A copper pyramid priced at $600 somehow convinced buyers it possessed healing powers. One reviewer swore it cured their depression, anxiety, and relationship problems within a week. They wrote 3 paragraphs about energy alignment and chakra restoration, like they'd discovered the fountain of youth in their living room. Another customer claimed the pyramid helped them communicate with deceased relatives. Makes sense, right? Spend enough money on metal shaped like ancient Egyptian monuments, and suddenly you're a spiritual guru. Then there's the penguin mask situation. What started as a simple costume accessory became the stuff of nightmares, according to multiple families. Parents reported their children screaming at the sight of dad wearing this innocent-looking mask. One mother wrote that her cat hasn't been the same since the penguin incident, hiding under furniture for weeks. Another reviewer described their dog's psychological trauma in clinical detail, as if they'd consulted a pet therapist about penguin-related PTSD. Well, if you think penguin masks are intense, glitter reviews take drama to nuclear levels. One particularly passionate reviewer called craft glitter the herpes of the art world, and blamed it for destroying their marriage. Apparently, the sparkly menace spread throughout their house like a contamination event, showing up in food, clothing, and somehow their car's air vents months later. They wrote 4 paragraphs describing glitter as chaos incarnate and warned others to save their sanity by choosing literally any other craft supply. And the weird part is these reviews get hundreds of helpful votes from people who apparently relate to glitter-induced domestic warfare. But nothing, absolutely nothing, tops the Veet for Men hair removal cream reviews. These read like survival stories from an apocalypse zone. One guy described the burning sensation as being attacked by angry fire ants while sitting on a volcano. Another claimed he saw his life flash before his eyes during what should have been routine grooming. The reviews include detailed timelines of pain levels, phone calls to poison control, and solemn warnings to future generations about the dangers of sensitive area hair removal. These aren't just overreactions anymore, they're literary masterpieces of human suffering over consumer products. The most fascinating part? Other customers actually find these dramatic meltdowns helpful for making purchase decisions. Someone's existential crisis over gummy bears becomes another person's buying guide. Their trauma transforms into entertainment, their pain into product research. Speaking of research, these theatrical reviews often hide genuinely useful information. Between the drama and comedy, real advice emerges from the chaos of online shopping experiences. Amazon reviewers have mastered turning product reviews into life coaching sessions, and somehow their wisdom actually makes sense. Take coffin beds, for example. You'd expect buyers to focus on comfort or shipping costs. Instead, reviewers dive deep into mortality philosophy. One customer wrote 3 paragraphs about how sleeping in a coffin-shaped bed reminded them to embrace each sunrise and stop wasting time on meaningless arguments. Another declared that their coffin bed purchase was the best decision for understanding life's precious nature. These aren't goth teenagers either. Many sound like suburban parents having midlife revelations. But wait, it gets better. Maternity dresses somehow became universal life advice dispensers. Pregnant women aren't the only ones buying these flowy garments anymore. One reviewer bought a maternity dress for a wedding and spent 4 paragraphs explaining how the extra room taught her about accepting your body's natural changes, regardless of life stage. Another customer, clearly not pregnant, used her maternity dress review to encourage other women to stop restricting themselves with tight clothing and tight mindsets. The dress became a metaphor for personal growth. Who knew polyester could be so enlightening? Then there's the legendary wisdom hidden in hair removal cream reviews. Veet for Men doesn't just remove hair, according to reviewers, it removes life's illusions. One brave soul shared his bathroom disaster story, but concluded with genuine advice about preparing properly for life's painful but necessary changes. Another reviewer turned his burning sensation experience into a meditation on embracing discomfort as growth. These aren't joke reviews. People genuinely found life lessons in their follicle failures. Let's not forget penguin masks doubling as parenting guides. Multiple reviewers discovered these ridiculous costume pieces work as child sleep training tools. One parent explained how wearing the penguin mask during bedtime stories helped their anxious toddler overcome nighttime fears. Another reviewer wrote detailed instructions on using animal masks to teach children about facing silly fears in a safe environment. The reviews read like child psychology textbooks, except they're about $20 Amazon masks. And the absolute champion of unexpected wisdom: how to avoid huge ships, a maritime safety manual that became Amazon's accidental self-help sensation. Reviewers treat this technical boating guide like ancient philosophy. One person wrote about applying ship avoidance principles to avoiding huge problems in relationships. Another customer explained how the book's straightforward advice reminded them that life's biggest dangers are usually visible from far away if you're paying attention. The reviews contain genuine relationship advice, career guidance, and philosophical insights, all from a book about not crashing boats. The weird part is how sincere these life advice reviews sound. Nobody's being sarcastic or ironic. These customers genuinely found meaningful insights in bizarre products. They're sharing real wisdom through the most unlikely channels imaginable. Well, not every reviewer finds enlightenment in their purchases. Some discover pure rage instead, and their one-star meltdowns make these philosophical reviews look tame by comparison. One-star reviews operate in their own reality, where minor inconveniences transform into life-altering catastrophes. These reviews don't just criticize products, they declare war on them. Take the person who bought a children's puzzle and unleashed fury about the instructions being too complicated. The puzzle was designed for 3-year-olds. The reviewer spent 8 paragraphs explaining how the manufacturer clearly doesn't understand modern parenting and demanded a full refund plus compensation for emotional distress. The instructions literally said, "Put pieces together to make picture." Then there's the legendary glitter incident. Someone ordered craft glitter for a school project and treated it like they'd been exposed to radioactive material. "This product is dangerous," they wrote in all caps. "It got everywhere. My house looks like a unicorn exploded. I found glitter in my coffee 3 weeks later. My dog is still sparkling." This should come with a hazmat warning. Book reviews hit differently though. They read like breakup letters written at 2 a.m. One person gave a romance novel 1 star because the characters reminded me of my ex-husband and his secretary. Another reviewer trashed a cookbook because the recipes looked too complicated and made me feel bad about my cooking skills. The drama bleeds through every sentence. But wait, it gets weirder. A banana slicer, yes, that innocent kitchen gadget, received a 1-star review declaring it ruined my faith in humanity. The reviewer explained how the product made them question consumer culture, capitalism, and whether civilization had gone too far over a banana slicer. They ended with, "I'm moving to a cabin in the woods." Pet products unleash particular chaos. Someone bought a simple dog toy and wrote a manifesto about how it destroyed the natural bond between humans and animals. They claimed their golden retriever became too materialistic after playing with the toy and demanded the company take responsibility for corrupting their pet's pure soul. Electronics reviews turn into therapy sessions. A phone case reviewer wrote 3 pages about how the slightly loose fit represented everything wrong with their life. "Just like this case doesn't protect my phone properly, nothing in my life fits right anymore," they concluded. The case cost $12. Kitchen gadgets inspire biblical-level wrath. Someone bought a simple can opener and declared it the worst purchase in human history. They compared using it to wrestling with demons and suggested the manufacturer clearly hates customers and probably small animals too. The review ended with them questioning their life choices and suggesting others learn from their tragic mistake. Home decor reviews become philosophical debates about existence. A decorative pillow earned 1 star because it made the room look too happy, and the reviewer wasn't in a place to handle that kind of positivity right now. The most fascinating part? These reviewers often admit they kept the product. They'll write 15 paragraphs about how something destroyed their peace of mind, then casually mention they're still using it daily. But here's what makes this whole phenomenon even stranger. The numbers behind these dramatic meltdowns tell a completely different story about human behavior online. Numbers don't lie, but they sure tell some wild stories. Amazon processes over 30 million product reviews every month. That's roughly 1 review every 1/10 of a second. Most of those reviews are normal stuff about phones, books, and kitchen gadgets, but buried in that avalanche of feedback are thousands of absolute gems that make you question humanity's priorities. Take the Hutzler 571 banana slicer. This simple piece of plastic has collected over 6,000 reviews. most of them completely ridiculous. Real customers bought this thing just to write comedy gold. One reviewer complained it only worked on bananas shaped like bananas. Another person gave it 1 star because it couldn't slice their pet snake. The product costs $3, but the entertainment value from reading these reviews, priceless. Then there's wolf urine. Yes, actual wolf pee in a bottle. Hunters use it to mask their scent, but the review section reads like a comedy club mixed with a survival manual. The product has attracted over 2,000 reviews, split between serious outdoorsmen sharing hunting tips and pranksters planning elaborate jokes on their neighbors. One reviewer claimed it made their garden so effective that deer started leaving thank you notes. The famous 5-pound gummy bear tells its own statistical story. Nearly 40% of reviewers mention digestive disasters. Another 30% focus on the sheer size and weight of this candy monster. The remaining reviews split between people using it as a doorstop, a conversation piece, or emergency sugar supply during apocalypse planning. Makes sense, right? But here's where things get really interesting. Products labeled as UFO detectors have accumulated thousands of reviews, and roughly 85% are pure comedy. The other 15% include people who seem genuinely disappointed their $20 gadget didn't contact extraterrestrial life. One reviewer docked stars because aliens apparently have better technology and don't trigger cheap motion sensors. Underground uranium ore samples show fascinating review patterns too. About half the reviewers crack jokes about glowing in the dark or gaining superpowers. The other half write surprisingly detailed scientific discussions about radioactivity levels and Geiger counter readings. Who knew radioactive rocks could create such educational content? Well, the weirdest trend involves seasonal spikes. Banana slicer reviews jump during wedding season because people add them to gift registries as jokes. Wolf urine sales peak before hunting season and right before April Fool's Day. The patterns reveal that humans buy weird stuff for 2 main reasons: genuine need or maximum chaos. Reviews for books titled "Everything Men Know About Women" follow predictable trends. The pages are blank, obviously. But customers write novel-length reviews anyway, turning the comment section into relationship advice columns, philosophical debates, and marriage counseling sessions. The book itself costs $5, but the therapy session in the reviews is free. These statistics reveal something fascinating about human behavior. We're drawn to the unusual, the ridiculous, the completely unnecessary. But that's exactly what makes diving into the psychology behind these bizarre shopping habits so intriguing. People aren't accidentally stumbling into writing crazy Amazon reviews. There's actually a method to this madness, and understanding why these reviews keep popping up reveals something fascinating about human behavior online. Entertainment drives a huge chunk of these wild reviews. Writers know their audience isn't just future buyers, they're performing for anyone scrolling through product pages looking for a laugh. The banana slicer didn't become legendary because people needed slicing advice. It became a stage where comedians could showcase their wit to thousands of readers. Social media amplifies this phenomenon in ways Amazon never expected. TikTok challenges dare users to find the weirdest product and write the most outrageous review possible. Instagram stories feature screenshots of bizarre reviews as content. Twitter threads compile the funniest Amazon finds, complete with their equally hilarious reviews. Each platform feeds into the others, creating an endless cycle of weird review creation. Then there's the gamification aspect that keeps people hooked. Amazon's helpful voting system rewards entertaining reviews over informative ones. A boring 3-star review about shipping speed gets ignored, while a dramatic tale about gummy bear digestive disasters earns hundreds of helpful votes. Writers quickly learn that comedy and chaos win the popularity contest. Companies have caught onto this trend, and some actively encourage it. Marketing teams realize that funny reviews generate organic buzz worth thousands in advertising dollars. Products with entertaining review sections get shared across social media platforms for free. The Hutzler banana slicer probably sold more units because of joke reviews than it ever would have through traditional marketing. Well, the psychology runs deeper than just seeking attention. Writing absurd reviews gives people a creative outlet they might not find elsewhere. Someone stuck in a boring office job can become a comedic genius in Amazon's comment sections. The platform becomes their personal comedy club, where applause comes in the form of helpful votes. But why do people keep engaging with products they'll never seriously use? The answer lies in the democratization of comedy. Anyone can participate in the joke without needing special skills or equipment. You don't need video editing software or acting ability, just words and imagination. Amazon accidentally created the world's largest open mic night. New weird products appear constantly, providing fresh material for creative reviewers. As long as someone's selling singing fish, UFO detectors, or 5-pound candy bags, there will always be new stages for digital performers. Each bizarre item represents another opportunity for someone to go viral with their wit. The helpful vote system creates its own addiction cycle. Writers chase those little green check marks like social media likes. Getting marked as helpful feels like validation that your humor landed with the audience. Some reviewers develop followings of people who specifically seek out their content across different products. Amazon's review system will likely never change because these entertaining reviews drive engagement and sales. The platform benefits from users spending extra time reading through comment sections, laughing at creative stories, and ultimately making purchases. The weird review phenomenon isn't slowing down anytime soon. It's evolving into its own form of digital entertainment, where everyone gets to be both performer and audience.